Would you like to apologize?
Nah.
Why?
Cause what's done is done. I ain't gonna have no remorse. They ain't gonna have no remorse. So I mean, I'm gonna keep it just like I sent it. I want the electric chair because I'm ready to leave on. I'm ready to move on. That's it. I mean, it's over with.
When you love someone, you do whatever you can to be there for them. You do whatever you can to support them, whether it's a good day or a bad day, whether they feel good or they don't feel good, whether they get it right or they get it wrong. You're there for them.
She was a master's degree holder, a motivational speaker, and a successful entrepreneur building her own company. He was a registered offender with multiple felony convictions who couldn't even hold down a regular job. She had everything going for her: education, ambition, a bright future ahead. He had a rap sheet longer than most people's resumes and came from a family where his own father had been convicted of taking his wife's life just years earlier. Yet somehow, 31-year-old Xavier Hill saw something in 30-year-old Beale IV that the rest of the world couldn't see. Her parents tried to warn her. Her friends raised concerns. But love, or what she thought was love, made her blind to the deadly truth standing right in front of her. When Xavier's family finally started asking the hard questions about what this man was really bringing to her life, their concerns would trigger a rage so violent that it would leave 3 people dead in just 4 days.
Did you shoot your girlfriend and burn her house down? So you killed her Tuesday, set her house on fire on Thursday?
Exactly.
You killed Mr. Baxter on Wednesday? What day did you kill Downing?
How does a woman with so much potential end up with a man who had so little to offer? And why do accomplished women keep choosing dangerous men who ultimately destroy them? This story takes us to Norfolk, Virginia, where 31-year-old Xavier Hill was living her best life. She was the kind of woman who inspired others just by being herself. Xavier was a vibrant and sociable individual who had been engaged actively in academic pursuits from kindergarten through graduate school. She wasn't just smart, she was gifted. Identified as such in elementary school, and she continued to thrive academically throughout her entire educational journey. Xavier's passion for communications began early, during middle school. By high school, she had become a certified on-air radio announcer. Her talent earned her recognition as a Parsons Scholar, which came with a 4-year scholarship to Norfolk State University. At Norfolk State, she co-hosted the on-campus talk show Golden Message, where her natural charisma and communication skills shone through. But Xavier didn't stop there. She pursued a master's degree in human services counseling and was actively working on a second master's degree in strategic communications at Regent University. This woman was driven. She was a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, where she was known as Static Electricity, a nickname that perfectly captured her powerful yet humble presence. Xavier had channeled all her education and passion into building something meaningful. She started her own company called 114 & Company, where she helped small businesses by providing them with branding and digital marketing strategies. She was a life coach, a motivational speaker, and a brand consultant who genuinely wanted to make a difference in people's lives. Her social media was filled with uplifting messages aimed at helping people going through tough times. She would post motivational speeches designed to encourage others, always trying to spread positivity and hope. One of her posts perfectly captured her spirit.
Today is a new day. Don't let the failures, the fears, the doubts of yesterday stop you from being your best self today. God has gifted you with everything that you need to accomplish all the tasks set before you. You got this. Pray, plan, and execute.
This was Xavier Hill, educated, accomplished, successful, and genuinely good-hearted. She was a woman who had her life together and was actively working to help others get their lives together too. And then there was Beale. While Xavier was building businesses and earning advanced degrees, Beale was building a criminal record. His background read like a handbook of red flags that should have sent any rational person running in the opposite direction. In 2013, Beale pled guilty to robbery, conspiracy, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. These weren't minor infractions. These were serious, violent crimes that landed him in prison for 5 years. But that was just the beginning of his legal troubles. 4 years after his robbery conviction in 2017, Beale pled guilty to a charge involving inappropriate conduct with a victim under the age of 13. This conviction required him to register as an offender and earned him another year behind bars. The nature of this crime alone should have been an automatic disqualifier for any relationship with a decent person. Even while he was on probation for these serious charges, Beale couldn't stay out of trouble. In 2019, he was caught driving under the influence on Naval Station Norfolk. He was found guilty of that federal charge and sentenced to spend 5 days in jail. But Beale's connection to violence went even deeper than his own criminal record. Violence ran in his family like a genetic defect that couldn't be corrected. In 2014, his father, Kola Beale III, had been convicted of taking his wife's life, Beale's stepmother. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and in the Beale family tree, the fruit was poisonous. Before we get too deep, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you find value in these content. So here we have two people from completely different worlds, yet somehow these two people found each other and began a relationship that would end in absolute tragedy. According to his social media profiles, Beale claimed to be a music producer. He had some equipment and claimed to create beats, but like everything else in his life, this appeared to be more fantasy than reality. He wasn't providing anything of substance. Not financially, not professionally, not socially. Despite all of this, Xavier not only entered into a relationship with Beale, she seemed to genuinely care about him. She would express her love and appreciation for him on social media, painting a picture of a happy relationship that couldn't have been further from the truth. In one particularly telling social media post for his birthday, Xavier wrote, "My love, it's your day. Thank you for being so patient, so loving, and so kind. It's hard to find the words to express how much you mean, but I will keep writing until it feels like enough. You have the biggest heart I know. Your love for me leaves me speechless. Your support is endless. Your smile and your laugh are contagious. Just the thought of you as I write this makes me smile from ear to ear. Thanks for keeping me on my toes, for being everything I needed and more. As you close out your 20s, remember with God, nothing is impossible. Every dream in your heart will come to pass, and every desire is already yours. Your best days are ahead of you. Cheers to 30, to more birthdays, and to more Dollar Tree runs. Happy birthday, my king." Reading those words now, knowing how this story ends, is absolutely heartbreaking. Here was this accomplished, educated woman calling a convicted felon with a history of violence her king. She was speaking life into someone who would ultimately speak death to her, literally. Xavier possessed what many people described as a compassionate heart and a deep faith in Christ. This combination allowed her to consistently see the good in people, even when that good might not have actually existed. Unfortunately for Xavier, the person who seemed to be her loving and supportive boyfriend was not at all what he appeared to be. While Xavier was posting about her king and his biggest heart, she was actually living with a ticking time bomb. As their relationship progressed, Xavier's family began to take notice of the man their daughter and sister was spending her time with. They started asking questions, reasonable questions that any loving family would ask. Questions like, what does he do for work? What are his plans for the future? How is he contributing to this relationship? How will he provide? These were the questions that people who love you ask when they want to make sure you're making good decisions. For Beale, these questions represented something much more threatening. They represented people who might convince Xavier to leave him. And for a man with his background, his family history, and his deep-seated issues with rejection and abandonment, that possibility was unacceptable. For nearly 15 months, Xavier had been in this relationship, supporting not just herself, but apparently him as well. Her parents had rarely even seen him during this time. As Beale himself would later admit, they had only come to check on their daughter maybe twice during the year and a half they had been together. But now that Xavier was moving to the next chapter of her life, building her business and establishing her career, her family wanted answers. And those answers were exposing the truth that Beale had been desperate to hide.
I had been there with her for almost 15 months, 15, 16 months. And they had never like came to check on her. I only seen them come to check on her like twice out of like almost a year and a half. And I had been there for her emotionally, physically, and spiritually, but it was like when she tried to move on to the next chapter in her life, when her mom asked like how would he provide now that you about to get a good job, how would he provide? I was getting ready to launch a business.
Beale claiming he was getting ready to launch a business while having no visible means of support, no job, and a criminal record that made him practically unemployable was exactly the kind of empty promise that concerned Xavier's family. They could see through the excuses and the false promises because they weren't blinded by whatever hold he had over their daughter. The family's questions were having an effect on Xavier too. Beale noticed that it just made her, start to act different. The woman who had been defending him, supporting him, and calling him her king on social media was beginning to see what everyone else had been seeing all along. This change in Xavier's attitude was dangerous for a man like Beale. He had invested 15 months in this relationship, not because he loved her, but because she represented everything he couldn't achieve on his own. She had the education he lacked, the success he envied, the respect he craved, and the legitimate life he could never build for himself. The thought of losing access to all of that, of going back to being just another convicted felon with no prospects and no future, was more than his fragile ego could handle. March 22nd, 2022 started like any other day, but it would end with a level of violence that shocked even seasoned law enforcement officers. The argument that erupted between Xavier and Beale that day was about the fundamental incompatibility between who she was and who he would always be. But what happened next revealed the true depth of Beale's evil nature. During their argument, Beale's rage reached a breaking point. But instead of directing his anger solely at Xavier, he turned his attention to her beloved dog, Prince. He grabbed the innocent animal and put him in a room, planning to pour bleach on the dog and set him on fire. He wanted to make her watch something she loved be destroyed in the most painful way imaginable. This was his own way of establishing complete dominance, and he was happy to do it through the most cruel means possible. But what happened next showed the true character of both people involved in this tragedy. When Xavier saw what Beale was planning to do to her dog, she made a choice that perfectly captured who she was as a person. She told him, "No, don't do nothing to the dog. You can take me and do whatever you want to do to me instead, and let him live." Beale's response to this act of love and sacrifice? "So I did that. I did exactly that because she started making a lot of noise. I did exactly that." He shot 31-year-old Xavier Hill in the head. Just like that, a woman who had spent her entire life building others up, encouraging people to be their best selves, and spreading positivity in the world, was gone. Taken by a man who had never built anything, never contributed anything, never offered anything of value to anyone. But Beale wasn't finished. The man who couldn't even provide $1,000 for himself, who had been living off his girlfriend's success and generosity, still had more violence to unleash. After taking Xavier's life, Beale left the scene, but 2 days later, on March 24th, he returned to complete his revenge against the woman who had tried to save him from himself. He came back to burn down her house, making sure to destroy everything she had worked for. And in a final act of pure cruelty, he made sure that Prince, the dog that Xavier had died trying to protect, was still inside the house when he set it ablaze.
The dog died in the fire, but I let the dog live because that's what she told me to do. She said, "Look, don't hurt him. I was gonna set him on fire." She said, "Don't hurt him. He had nothing to do with this. This is all my fault. This is me." She said it was her fault because she let her mom come in and kind of mess with her head. I said, "Look, man, don't you?" I said, "So that's how you feel?" She was like, "Look, whatever you're gonna do to him, do it to me." So that's when I shot her in the head. Set that on fire, set the car on fire. I even ran through the fire trying to get out. I almost got locked into the fire. She already was ready. She was ready to go. Like, she went out fight. She was ready to go. She was like, "Nah, I'll take that." So I left the dog alive, but then I came back to the house and set it on fire, and then I watched the dog burn alive.
The Virginia Beach Fire Department responded to the residents in the 5,500 block of Baccalaureate Drive, but by the time they arrived, there was nothing left to save. Javier's body was found inside the home, and the cause of death was determined to be a gunshot wound to the head. But for Beale, one life wasn't enough to satisfy his rage. 12 hours after taking Javier's life, he drove to the home of 73-year-old Clifton Baxter on Linda Court in Virginia Beach. Baxter was the man who had raised Beale for 15 years after his biological father was absent from his life. Baxter was a Vietnam veteran who had opened his home and his heart to a young man who needed guidance and support. But in Beale's twisted mind, love and support weren't enough. He felt entitled to something more, something that belonged to him simply because he wanted it. Beale would later explain his reasoning for taking the life of the man who had been like a father to him.
He basically raised me. He basically raised me. Like I was raised with him for 15 years, but at the same time, when I needed him the most, he wasn't there. So at the same time, when I needed this and that, just something to get on my feet, he tell me he ain't had nothing. But when I killed him, I found $20,000.
The entitlement in those words is staggering. Here was a 30-year-old man complaining that his 73-year-old adoptive father wouldn't give him money on demand, a man who had already provided 15 years of care, guidance, and support to someone who clearly didn't deserve it.
So this whole time, if you had gave me $1,000, I would have been good, just to make it back. Yes, I took. Anybody would take the 20 grand. If you hit the lotto, you gonna take the 20 grand, right? I'm just asking. I mean, you ask the question, I'm gonna ask questions too. Anybody can take 20 grand if they see it, and ain't nobody gonna stop it.
Beale had just taken the life of a man who loved him because that man wouldn't hand over his life savings to support Beale's failures. After shooting Clifton Baxter in the head, Beale stole the $20,000 from his safe and left the Vietnam veteran's body in his own home. Another victim of Beale's bottomless sense of entitlement. But the killing spree wasn't over yet. With $20,000 in stolen money and 2 lives already taken, Beale made his way to Norfolk to visit his cousin, 32-year-old Downing McLean. When Beale arrived at his cousin's home on Sewell's Point Road, he told McLean about what he had done. McLean's reaction was reportedly to laugh and treat the whole situation like it was some kind of joke. This response triggered something even more violent in Beale's already twisted mind. Here he was, having just taken 2 innocent lives, and his own cousin was laughing about it. But what happened next revealed that McLean might not have been as innocent as he appeared. According to Beale's later confession, McLean suggested that since Beale was already in it, they should go take care of some people who had been causing problems for McLean, people who supposedly wanted to harm him. In other words, McLean wanted to use his newly murderous cousin as his personal hitman. But the partnership didn't last long. During their time together, McLean became increasingly erratic and confrontational. Beale would later describe what happened.
So at the same time, he had seen both bodies. My cousin had seen both bodies, but he laughed at them. He made it seem like it was a joke. To me, it was something like, okay, I didn't want to do it, but I did it because I was snapping. So in the midst of everything, I was going to take care of some things with him for some people that wanted to kill him.
The situation escalated quickly. McLean started
snapping on everybody that's around us
and became increasingly difficult to control. He was drinking, yelling, and completely out of control, even though Beale had just confessed to 2 murders. Beale's patience ran out.
I got fed up with him because he kept talking like you not about this, you not gonna do nothing. Like, bro, I just killed 2 people. You don't think I'm ready to shoot again? So he just kept going off and started getting loud and raging. So I went right in the kitchen and right in the head. He didn't drop. He just kept moving in circles. Then I shot him in the back to make sure he hit the ground.
The cold, matter-of-fact way Beale described taking his own cousin's life was absolutely chilling. He showed no emotion, no regret, no recognition that he had just destroyed another family. McLean was found dead from gunshot wounds inside his Norfolk home, becoming the 3rd victim in Beale's 4-day reign of terror. 3 days, 3 victims. Each person killed for a different reason, but all sharing one common thread. They had something that Beale wanted, or they represented something that threatened his fragile ego. After taking his cousin's life, Beale wasn't finished. He took McLean's girlfriend as a hostage and drove to Hampton, where he rented an Airbnb. While law enforcement agencies across Hampton roads launched a massive manhunt, Beale was calmly watching news coverage of his own crimes on television. But even while hiding from police, Beale was already planning his next move. He admitted that during his time at the Airbnb, "I started planning who his next target would be." This wasn't a man who had snapped temporarily and then come to his senses. This was someone who was actively looking for more people to harm. Police throughout Hampton Roads and federal marshals launched an intensive search for the man they now knew was extremely dangerous. A $10,000 reward was offered for information leading to his capture. News outlets across the region were broadcasting his photo and warning the public about the armed and dangerous individual who was still on the loose. For nearly a week, Beale managed to evade capture while law enforcement agencies coordinated their efforts across multiple jurisdictions. The manhunt involved local police, federal marshals, and specialized units all working around the clock to find him before he could claim another victim. Finally, on March 30th, approximately 11:55 p.m., the Hampton Police Division SWAT team apprehended Beale in the Buckrow area of Hampton. The week-long reign of terror was finally over. But what happened after his arrest was almost as disturbing as the crimes themselves. Instead of showing any remorse or regret for the lives he had taken, Beale was eager to talk about what he had done. He gave extensive interviews to news media, speaking about his crimes with a level of detail and casualness that shocked even experienced reporters. When asked directly if he had shot his girlfriend and burned her house down, Beale responded without hesitation, "Yeah, I did." When asked where he shot her, he replied matter-of-factly, "I shot her in the head." Throughout these interviews, Beale showed zero remorse for any of his actions. He blamed everyone else for his choices. Severe's parents for asking reasonable questions, his adoptive father for not giving him money on demand, his cousin for not taking his murder seriously enough. When asked if he wanted to apologize, his response was chilling.
Would you like to apologize?
Nah.
Why?
Cause what's done is done. I ain't gonna have no remorse. They ain't gonna have no remorse. So I mean, I'm gonna keep it just like I sent it. I want the electric chair because I'm ready to leave on. I'm ready to move on. That's it. I mean, it's over with.
The legal proceedings moved forward, with Beale facing multiple charges across 2 jurisdictions. In Virginia Beach, he was charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of arson, abduction, torturing an animal to death, and various gun charges. In Norfolk, he faced additional charges for his cousin's murder. The trial revealed the full extent of Beale's crimes through evidence that was difficult for everyone involved to process. Ring camera footage from Javir's home captured the argument before the fatal gunshot, after which her voice was never heard again. Another video showed her mother stopping by the house, but not going inside, a decision that likely saved her life. Perhaps most damning was the footage showing Beale returning to the house with a gas can, wearing a towel over his face as he prepared to burn down everything Javir had worked so hard to build. During the trial proceedings, Beale's behavior continued to show his complete lack of respect for the legal process and the families of his victims. When the guilty verdict was read on all 8 charges, he yelled out in court, "Can y'all get this over with?" The judge immediately ordered him removed from the courtroom, but the outburst caused additional pain to the families who were already suffering from their losses. The verdict was swift and decisive. Guilty on all charges. 2 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of arson, abduction, torturing an animal to death, and gun charges. The jury had heard all the evidence and seen through any attempts at justification or explanation. Interestingly, between his arrest and sentencing, Beale's attitude seemed to shift slightly. In later interviews, he claimed to have developed some remorse for his actions, saying he had come out of what he called a blackout or trance. "So do you feel remorse for what you did?" a reporter asked. "Yes, ma'am," he replied. But even this apparent change of heart felt hollow and calculated.
Nah, I was just to the point where I already knew after the first one, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? I had enough ammo to kill a lot of more people. But you know what I mean, I guess it's thankful that the U.S. Marshals got me through whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely was about to get out the next day and do something.
What kind of punishment do you think you should receive?
I want the electric chair because I'm ready to leave on. I'm ready to move on. That's it. You know what I mean, it's over with. I left my family, I left my kids, I left my business. You know what I mean? Of course, my girlfriend, everything is gone, so the electric chair be the best thing for me.
Would you like to apologize?
Nah.
Why?
Cause what's done is done. I ain't gonna have no remorse, they ain't gonna have no remorse. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep it just like I sent it. I did everything individually for a different reason.
I know earlier you said you had 20 guns. We're curious on where you got those 20 guns.
Well, I thought I shot my pops in the head. I thought I shot my stepdad in the head. You know what I mean? They was all scattered through the house.
20 guns?
Yeah, about 20 guns and about $20,000.
And, earlier you said you don't feel remorse. Why don't you?
Nah, for what? I mean, I'm about to, you know what I mean? I'm not living no more. I'm just here. I'm just in jail right now. Had I just got into a shootout with the U.S. Marshals, I would have been dead or still on the run if they ain't finished me. So I wouldn't even be sitting right here in front of you. I just sitting right here in front of you because the house that was next to me in the Airbnb had 2 little boys in it and a family, and I knew they was in the house, so I knew if I came out shooting, it was a chance they could have got killed. I ain't want my kids to get killed. So I ain't even come out shooting. I let the shorty go, and I just walked out. I mean, I ain't even do it. I could have shot it out to the death. It ain't matter.
And you talked to the media. This is the second time that you talked to the media. Why are you talking to us?
Because at the end of the day, this is my last time. This is our last time hearing my voice. After that, I mean, it's over with. I was asleep. I had just took a shower and I was asleep. I was playing some music. I just lay down, went to sleep, and I heard this big truck come up. It was like an army truck come up. Every time I looked out the window, they kept saying left, right, left, right. I knew it was them.
Did you want to get caught?
Hell no. And when you on the run, that's the whole point, not to get caught. I mean, keep doing as much damage as you can do and keep staying on the run. I mean, who goes on the run and want to get caught?
Did you plan to kill others? And if so, was it anybody specific or just?
I mean, I had a few people in mind, but I mean, I can't get to them now. You know what I'm saying? And it was just people who did me wrong, people who did like crazy shit, like people that deserve that shit. You know what I mean? That ain't see it coming, but it's too late to speak about that now.
When you say that they deserved it, how did they wrong you?
Well, I mean, I had my own reasons.
Well, have you committed other crimes that law enforcement is not aware of?
Nah.
And in earlier interviews, you said you snapped, and that's when this whole thing started. What made you snap?
So what made me snap was, it was like I was to the point where I had so much stuff was going on between me, probation, everything. Like the probation really made me snap because they reset my probation after 2 years and I ain't did shit wrong. And then they found out I wasn't even guilty of a sex charge that I was wearing for 4 years. And when they didn't want to fix it, they made me wear the shit. Even after I took a polygraph, after I took the polygraph, they found out the sex charge was some bullshit. And they still said I had to go through the process of the sex offender program, the class, but they probation officers didn't do their job. So they reset my probation for a low when I won't really have to see my probation officer for like every 3 months to every day, two house visits, to me showing up to the office once a month. Like I had to reset my whole life again, like I just came home. So I figured, hey, you know what I mean? If y'all gonna keep putting this pressure on me for some shit I ain't doing, I might as well be doing some shit and y'all can hear me. So that was another reason. That was a whole nother reason. I told you each person had a different reason why I did it. It won't just like I just woke up and said I'm gonna kill my girlfriend. It won't like that. You know what I mean? It was the outsiders. It was her mom who was trying to like orchestrate her into moving away from me when I had been there for her daughter the whole time while I want nobody around. I had been staying there at the house with her for almost 2 years. I ain't seen nothing but 2 times come to the house. So she didn't even want to start a new job. She asked me if I was cool with her starting a new job. I was like, yeah, why not? I was about to start my business. But it comes to her mom, like she asked her just like this. She said, well, what about him? He ain't working, but he providing for himself, but what about him? What he gonna do? So it started messing with her. She started breaking down, crying, all that other stuff. And now I'm in there taking care of her because her mom called her crying about that. So, and what really pissed me off was I had killed her on Tuesday when we got into it. So her mom pulled up to the house on Wednesday. I had her phone. I'm texting her mom back and forth like I'm hurt. And she knew something was wrong. But remember, I told you I ain't seen her twice in the whole almost 2 years come to the house. So her mom drives to the house. I'm watching you on camera pull up. You drove all the way about 30 minutes to the house from Suffolk to see if she was okay. You had a key to the house. You did not go in the house to see if she was okay. So that already told me you really ain't care, but you cared enough to say something to her about me, to fuck up what we had going on. So now, I was like, fuck it, that pissed me off even more. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna set that shit on fire. I don't even care. Because you didn't even care to open up the door to see if she was all right. She been in there. So that's when I went back and did that. Set that on fire, set the car on fire. You know what I mean? I even ran through the fire trying to get out. I almost got locked into the fire. I was locked up at the time when he did it. She was writing me all the time. She had wrote me in a letter, and at the end of the letter, she told me she knew she was about to go. She said she felt it. She felt like she wasn't gonna be here no longer. She felt like it was almost close to the end. And that kind of hurt me, cause I was like, damn, that was the only one really writing me when I was gone. Yeah, and for him to do that, that was like another crushing, that was like another pain. I didn't know what he felt. But I mean, I tried to stay in contact with him, but when I came home, I just cut him off. And right before I started to try to get back in contact with him, that's when this happened.
A minute ago when you were answering all my colleagues' questions, you said you snapped. And that's kind of what started all this. Do you feel right now you sound fine talking to us right now?
To be in a sound mind right now is not even, nah. Cause all I'm doing right now, I keep seeing flashbacks of everything. Like everything when I did it and everything people were saying to me before they left. Like I'm still visualizing that now. It's playing back like it's on repeat right now in my head. And all I'm seeing is red. All I see is fire. I don't see no green. I don't see no colors right now. All I see is red. I can see red all over your face right now. I don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I'm just here right now. Nah, because what's done is done. I ain't gonna cry about it. I gotta move through it now until they put me in the chair. However fast that take.
Earlier today, you mentioned the dog. Just to clarify, did you kill the dog or did the dog die in the fire?
The dog died in the fire, but I let the dog live because that's what she told me to do. She said, look, don't hurt him. Know what I mean? I was gonna set him on fire. She said, don't hurt him. He had nothing to do with this. This is all my fault. This is me. She said it was her fault because she let her mom come in and kind of mess with her head. I said, look, man, don't you? I said, so that's how you feel. She was like, look, whatever you gonna do to him, do it to me. So that's when I shot her in the head. I probably don't need one. If anyone represent me, cool, but they don't, it don't even matter. It don't even matter to me right now. I know I ain't gonna see the light of day again, so when you know you ain't gonna see the light of day, your family, nothing, you ain't gonna see no money, no nothing, what do you care about seeing people for now? I done lived my life. This is it. All y'all I'm seeing right now, this is my last time I see y'all unless I see y'all on TV. I'm already reaching my fate right now. That's why I'm talking to y'all. You said what was the what? The message? It wasn't really a message, I snapped. And when she told me take her and do whatever to her instead of the dog, that let me know right there you was already ready. She already was ready. She was ready to go. Like she went out fight. She was ready to go. She was like, nah, I'll take that. So I left the dog alive, but then I came back to the house and set it on fire, and then I watched the dog burn alive. we we spent the whole week talking. We spent the whole week talking about her starting her job and everything. And she cried because she had been in the house with me for a year. This week we helping each other launch our businesses. Know what I mean, get our credit, everything straight. We had everything level, but it was the outsiders coming in, fucking it up for her and putting her in this mode, and I couldn't stop it because they had her. I didn't. And it wasn't her dad, it was her mom. Her dad was cool. He didn't say much. It was her mom that got in her head because she kept questioning and questioning to the point she broke down like 3 times crying about it. Because we had just got through it of us like separating, she going to work, I'ma still be at home, but then I'm about to launch my business. Like, it was like, we was good. We had finally got in the comfort zone. We was just getting stuff prepared for the house. I was getting her stuff prepared for her office when she get her desk or her new job. But that ain't work. It ain't work. Yeah. I feel sad every time I think about it because I be trying to reset it to see like how I could have stopped it, but I just get stuck with everything else that happened after that. So what was the question? I tried to keep from following in his footsteps, but for some reason, when I snapped, it was so much going on, and at the time, I wasn't seeing nothing else but red. It was just so much. It was so much I was dealing with from left and right, and I got tired, man. I got real tired, and when I had people outside orchestrating on my relationship when we was good, it was like I couldn't win. I couldn't win at all. You can't have a relationship with somebody on the outside controlling it at the same time when this is what you want and that's what they want. And that's what we talked about for a whole week. And for some reason, if you don't like me and I'm with somebody that's your family, you don't have to deal with me. You don't have to talk with me. But that wasn't how it was presented in the beginning. So in the end, when we finally made it through and she was about to get her job, we thought we was good. But that question came up. Nah, hell no. Because now I got a son that I got a son now that I probably won't be able to talk to anymore. Or if his mom is cool or however it goes, however their life goes behind my actions, I just hope that he can break it. That's why I ain't give him my last name. That's why I ain't give him my name. He 3. That's why I ain't give him my name, so he ain't got to worry about living with this name. Never. Never did that. Nah. She was one of the only people that really could like keep me level. Like she was there. She was cool. You feel me? So after I had did that, it was like she was the only one that could like keep me sane from all the crazy stuff that was going on around me. So when she was gone, I felt like my whole world was gone. But after I had snapped, that was it. Is there anything else I want to add? I just want my family to know if I don't talk to him ever again that, I mean, I know y'all feel some type of way about it, but I have no remorse about it. I mean, I tried calling, but I have no remorse about it. I did not just kill my cousin just to kill him. I was out there to help him kill some people that wanted to kill him. But instead of doing that, he put my life in jeopardy, and now he ended up getting killed by me because he wanted to move in circles and scream and try to beat on his girlfriend and all that in front of me. And I was in the house with him for at least, 48 hours. And for him to even go off and keep going off, and I told him I just killed 2 people, and you seen both of the bodies, and you laughed at him. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I ain't trying to hear it. So yes, I blacked out on him. I told him, look, stop, calm down. Whole bunch of yelling, he raging. So I said, all right, bet. So when I went in the kitchen, I just headshot him, and then he ain't dropped, so I shot him in the back. So just for that, I mean, the family knew it. So all I can say is I hope and I hope that my son be better than me, and I mean, he ain't got to worry about having a name, but be stronger than me and do better and make sure he take care of his family. At least he got a chance.
Do you have anything that you would like to say specifically to your son? Whether it be to try not to follow in the same.
Yeah, I have a lot to say. Even a week before this happened, I left a video recording in his tablet at his grandma's house. So if something ever happened to me, he can listen to it. And it was just kind of like building him up, kind of like talking to him as if I was gone already. Like for some reason, it felt like I was like I was about to leave the world anyway. So I had already left him like a farewell message way before I felt all this. And it was wild because now this happened. I didn't see this happening. But I recorded a video in his tablet, so if he ever see it getting older, he'll know what I meant for him. So, I mean, if I were to say something to him now, I'd say continue to be strong, pay attention, be the best he could be. I mean, be there to protect his mom, take care of his grandma while he here. I mean, listen to his mom. And for whatever else he could do, stay active and like something that can keep his mind focused on what he want to do. I mean, and I love him. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter as well. She should be 13.
Kola Beale IV will spend the rest of his life in prison, where he belongs. But the lives of Xavier Hill, Clifton Baxter, and Downing McLean can never be restored. Their families will carry this pain forever, and the world has lost the positive contributions these people could have continued to make. The most important lesson from this tragedy is simple but vital. When people show you who they are, through their actions and their history, believe them. Don't make excuses. Don't try to save them. Don't convince yourself that your situation is different or that your love is special enough to change someone who has already proven they're dangerous. Your life is too valuable to waste on someone who doesn't deserve it. And as Xavier Hill's story tragically proves, sometimes the cost of ignoring that truth is the ultimate price. Rest in peace, Xavier Hill. Your light was extinguished far too soon, but the lessons from your story could help save others from the same fate.